Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wentz. Good to be with you in the afternoon for once. It's usually late in the evening or Sunday nights. We'll let a couple people join here. I just want to take us through real simple next week, what it looks like. You're probably seeing on your phone apps or you're hearing some of the forecasts just talking about the weather next week. So I just want to kind of level set, let you know what you can plan for if you're traveling, or if you're hosting, Thanksgiving dinner, or if you're just getting an early jump on the holiday shopping. Certainly something we need to be in tune with is that weather forecast next week. So couple of things. I'm on vacation this week. That's why we're a little bit more laid back here in our little region weather studio here at home. This is the same one that I had a green screen for. I had everything set up during, the peak of COVID. And the green screen's gone now. I've still got, some of this equipment around, stuff like that. But this will be our home probably for the holidays in terms of giving you updates and all that good stuff too when I'm not at work. Lots of time off to take before the end of the year. It's one of those use it or lose it kind of scenarios. So I'm going to let a couple more people join here. Again, the whole point of these, go ahead, ask questions. We'll answer those as we go along. We can have a chat about the forecast next week. I'll go through the maps. But of course, we have to have our official intro video here. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. How's your week going? Is everyone's week going okay? I know we're, a week before Thanksgiving. It starts to get hectic in terms of planning and all that stuff. But I hope everyone's doing well. In terms of, I've had a couple private messages on Facebook, which if you ever have a question, go ahead and message us on Facebook. But they were asking about Sunday Snapshot and why we haven't done it last 2 weeks. My schedule changed. And so I'm now doing a morning show, like a talk show on Sunday mornings. And so I'm up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, even a little earlier sometimes. So the Sunday night snapshots we're not going to do anymore because that is rest time for me. But I'm working on something that maybe we can get out on Sunday mornings. Or another series, whatever that happens to be. I know we really like those. I like doing those too because we could plan for the week. But my schedule's all over the place the next 2 months. Our whole meteorology team, our schedule's all over the place as well. So it's going to be kind of hodgepodge in terms of any consistency for that. But one thing is going to be consistent. We're going to take a look at the holiday weeks several times before the week comes up. If you remember last Christmas, we went and looked at that winter storm that was moving in multiple nights in a row. We will do that again. We got you covered for the winter. So let's get to the maps. This is what we're dealing with here. And actually, I have a new location where I can go. Bottom corner. That way you can see more of this, right? So current setup right now, it's cold, right? It's windy, it's cold. We don't have any snow yet. The clouds have kind of built back into the area behind this cold front. And in terms of near term, I was looking at some of the radar analysis, and there's actually very, very light flurries that are barely being detected by radar, but those are moving in from the Chicago area. So I would not be surprised if we had some very, very light flurries or some light snow develop this afternoon and tonight. The wind continues to howl. Temperatures have kind of flatlined, right? It's kind of nasty outside, I'll be honest. Can it get colder? Yes, but we like it 70 and sunny around here, and this is certainly not that. So light snow develops tonight. This is why, as you look at the map, you see all these isobars, those black lines. Those are lines of equal pressure. When you have a lot of them, it means it's windy, right? This is a very powerful low pressure that's way up here, just north of Lake Superior. So the wind's coming out of the northwest. It is gusty. The cold front's here where the rain is. We haven't developed a lot of snow on radar yet, although it's there. But watch what happens as we go over the next couple hours. Lake effect gets going. It's already going up towards Grand Rapids, but that really fills in, and we bring in just general light flurries here and there. It doesn't look like to be a huge accumulating snow or anything, but watch what happens as we're going into tonight. This is tonight and tomorrow. You can see how some of the lake effect, as we get just a brief northwest fetch, that would bring some snow showers, not flurries, but snow showers. South Bend will be getting some lake effect snow, likely some accumulation there, but some snow showers into LaPorte County and maybe Porter County tonight. Huge deal? No, but will we see some snowflakes? It's certainly possible if we get that wind to turn a little bit more northwest as we go through the overnight. But look how quickly it says this is now tomorrow midday. Lake effect machine shuts off just like that. We're already back on the warmer side of this high pressure, and you can see what happens by tomorrow night. And then Saturday, this is a southwest wind with those lines. It will be breezy again. It's a year for the wind, right? That time of year where we get these systems that just come in, jet streams right over us, very active, right? And that'll be a warming wind out ahead of our next weather system. So that's near term. I do want to go long term, though. That's the whole point of this. And again, if you guys have questions on your holiday week or what that's looking like, go ahead and get them in now. We'll answer them here once I go through the maps. I do want to say hi to Sharon, who gave us a little shout out there. Hi to Adri. Peter, thanks for tagging Katie in that. Not used as bitter cold, says Kimberly. I certainly agree with that. I say that all the time. If it's going to be cold, it might as well snow, right? 40s and nothing are kind of the worst, right? Sherry says chilly and whiting. Absolutely. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. Susan's cold. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. We're not quite there yet. Peter wants the weather to stop. Sherry says, can you make the map bigger? That one is really small. This one's bigger for sure. I don't know why that one was so small. I noticed that too. And let's see, Max says, how will viewing conditions be for the lunar eclipse tonight? Max, that's a great question. I think we're going to have a lot of clouds around. The best chance for viewing that would be outside of the snow belt. So we're talking Newton, Jasper counties. I think we'll have lake effect clouds elsewhere, but we could get some clear spots for sure. And Alexis is freezing cold in Cherryville. I totally feel you, Alexis. All right, so in terms of the maps, hopefully you can see this okay. Let me go full screen. That doesn't really help. So here's what we're dealing with now. Here's this big front that went by, right? We're going to set up your Thanksgiving week. Big low pressure up towards the Hudson Bay. Very cold air coming in. You can see kind of these blue lines there. Those are temperatures at different heights in the atmosphere. Bottom line, what you need to know, we don't need to get too technical. It's cold, right? It's cold outside. Watch how quickly we flip. So as we go through time, we're going to fast forward to tomorrow. Lake effect shuts off. As we mentioned, high pressure down to the south. Notice the warming wind coming out of the Rockies, right? No weather system. So we're quiet on Friday. Saturday looks good as well. A little bit warmer. I think we'll tag into the 40s if we're lucky. You can see the nice southwest flow that we have there. Out west, it's active again, though. There's a system in the Rockies. There's another one as you get up towards the Vancouver area, the Pacific Northwest. Both of those will come together to form a pretty decent area low pressure. And just kind of big picture look at next week, there's going to be a big storm system on Monday, Sunday night, Monday, that's going to deliver some very, very chilly air in a hurry. So this front was good, right? Dropped our temps. It's cold outside. Sunday night's Monday looks more impressive, and I think that's really going to kick off lake effect across the Great Lakes. But for us locally, I don't see it being a big deal other than that temperature drop. So here's how it sets up. Here's our system coming out of Canada. You can see the low pressure up there. We've got a little wave here coming through the northern plain states. And notice what happens. This low really gets going. This is Sunday afternoon now. We're starting to develop some rain. So Saturday we're dry. Sunday we have a rainfall chance as this system kind of comes together and starts to develop over us. But then Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon and evening, we're going to see a rapid temperature drop. Look at this low that forms up near Lake Superior once again. Very similar to this one, except this one's got a real good punch with it. Rain finally pushes out Sunday night. And notice the wind really starts howling Sunday night, Monday morning off Lake Michigan. Lake effect snow will likely be heavy with this up towards Marquette, southwest lower Michigan, up towards northern Michigan as well. For us locally, we'll have to see how the wind's set up. I could see LaPorte County getting into some decent lake effect. This would be Sunday night and Monday. How far west does it make it into Porter Lake counties? I'm not too sure at this point. It's a little too early to call. But this will come with a big temperature drop. So by Monday morning, it is cold outside. And then as we go through time Monday, you can see how the rest of the lakes get going. Cold air is going all the way down into Tennessee. This is a potent system Sunday and Monday. But again, I think impacts for us locally here in the region aren't really going to be that high other than wind, cold, and we'll keep an eye on the lake effect. So you're probably going to hear a lot in the news about, big storm system to start our Thanksgiving week. Click here. You don't have to click there, okay? The storm system's not going to be a huge deal for us locally. It will have reaching impacts all the way towards the East Coast, though, and it's going to get really cold. This is a real decent cold air mass coming down. So this is Monday now. So think about what you've got going on next week. whether it be grocery shopping or maybe you're planning a trip to the in-laws, whatever it is. On Monday, there will be travel problems east. So from probably Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo on towards the eastern seaboard, there's likely going to be delays with that. Meanwhile, we're quiet from here out towards the west. And then we settle into a pretty quiet pattern. I'll fast forward to Tuesday. Lakes are still going. We're still in the cold. Look at this dip all the way down to the Georgia, Carolina coastline. We're talking cold air all the way that far south. It's November, right? The lakes are still going. It looks like Lake Michigan starts to quiet down, but we're still in the cold on Tuesday. Winds have relaxed. Tuesday doesn't look to be a bad day outside of the cold. If you have travel plans across the country, Great Lakes really the only spot to watch. Lots of wind on the East Coast as well. West Coast is quiet. Nice ridge bubble kind of moving in. So that ridge that's out west on Wednesday will start to move in. So we'll see warming temps. We'll get a little bit breezier again on Wednesday. Again, day before Thanksgiving, big travel day. But you notice there's not a lot of travel problems across the country. That's really good news. We'll have a warming wind out ahead of our next system that develops. And that system that looks to develop on Thanksgiving itself may bring us some rain. The model's not too crazy about that, but there's going to be an area of low pressure that develops in Michigan. This is Thanksgiving Day itself, what it could look like on the weather map. And there'll be a little frontal boundary here. It'll be milder, so not cold on Thanksgiving. It'll be cool. And you can see there's not a lot of precip. I wouldn't be surprised if next couple of days that fills in with some showers, nothing organized, but I would, if I were doing the forecast right now, put in a slight chance of showers on Thanksgiving itself, even though the models don't have it just because of the way that system looks. But you see much of the country's quiet, and then thereafter, we've got another system that'll likely bring cool air, cold air even on Friday, and then especially Saturday after Thanksgiving, and maybe some lake effect snow with that. So that's kind of what we're setting up to look like in terms of precip and all that. I do want to show you one last thing, and that would be the snowfall, because we all love seeing where the snow is, right? So we're going to go ahead and look at the snowfall. This is the Euro model. I'll take you through all these. And this is the latest run. This run just finished up. This is our 12Z. This is the latest, most accurate information is that 12Z run every day, and it just got done loading for everybody. So that's the good news, is that this is real fresh information. That's why I wanted to do this at 1 o'clock Central Time, because I knew the models would be ready to go. So in terms of snowfall, this is what we're dealing with in terms of the lake effect. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can get a little bit more specific and look at some of these Southwest Lower Michigan totals. You see a couple inches there. This isn't real high res, so I would imagine there's probably going to be some 2-inch totals, maybe even 3 inches in terms of lake effect away from here. No big deal tonight and tomorrow. LaPorte, Porter counties, some snowflakes, sure, but nothing huge. And then as we go through time, let's fast forward to what was our next shot at snow? That was with that Monday system, Sunday night Monday. We'll see what it's saying here. So we're now Sunday, here's Monday, and you can see how that system with that really cold air kicks off the lakes. Most of it up in Michigan, but I could see LaPorte County getting into that Sunday night. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And then we start to dry out, and there's really no snowfall to worry about. Let me switch models. I want to go to the GFS. We'll go to the exact same time. GFS has been consistently snowier, and you can see how it brings some of the lake effect snow. This is with Sunday, Monday system. It brings some of that lake effect into LaPorte County. That's why I would keep an eye on that. Maybe a couple inches there. Porter County, maybe a little bit. It all depends on where that lake effect sets up Sunday night, Monday. And then our final model we'll look at is the GEM, the Canadian model. I haven't looked at this. That has like blizzard-like snows out towards Erie, Pennsylvania. For us, not a lot locally. So that's kind of what that looks like. Okay. So that's it. That's all I've got for you guys. I hope that helps kind of set up what Thanksgiving week looks like. Again, some of this could change a little bit, but we've got a pretty good idea of what that pattern looks like right now. So if you guys have any questions, love to talk to you about it, and then we'll get you on your way today. And again, this video will live on our Facebook page. So if you need to go back and reference any of that information next week, even, you can check to see if the forecast verifies. I always like doing that. So we'll see how that goes. So let's see. Max says, thank you. Adri says, Thanksgiving Day Parade in Chicago, how will it go? Adri, I think right now it'll be okay. I do think it'll be breezy. Again, keep in mind, we're a week out, so things can fluctuate. But as of all the information I'm seeing right now, I think it'll be breezy. It's not going to be bitterly cold. I think we'll have a nice little batch of some milder air, so probably 40s for highs. with a good breeze. And as of right now, I would throw some scattered showers in there, although models keep us dry. But as of right now, it looks okay. It really does. I think it'd be a good day to go see it versus some of the years when it's not a good year to go see it. Debbie says, we were in the desert Southwest a few weeks ago, 80 degrees. This is evil. Thanks for the info, Matt. Debbie, what a shock to the system, isn't it? It's, yeah, whenever Florida trip, desert, Southwest, anything like that, whenever you come back home, it's like this time of year, it can be brutal. I feel you. Brandy just says in Crown Point. Brandy, if you could specify, unless you're letting me know your location, that's great. I like Crown Point. Thank you. Adria, you're welcome for sure. Deb is cold in Gary. Happy Turkey Day to all. Thanks, Deb. Oh, look at this. Diane is visiting Fullerton, California right now. I was hoping a bit warmer when I return. Diane has been really active out in California. I think this latest system's going to, the systems come into the West Coast all the time, especially this time of year. And most of them have been Oregon and Washington so far this year. California got a couple of those initial storms. But I think this one right now, or the next one, is going to get you down in California a little bit more. That's good for them. Susan asked a really tough question. Can you tell what kind of winter we'll be having? Susan, I can give you some ideas. Yeah, I think everyone's working on perfecting the 7 to 10 day forecast now. So my opinion on long range forecasts, if we can't get 7 to 10 days, how can we tell you what an entire winter is going to look like? But there are a bunch of things that we look at. There are a ton of variables that, some play together well, some don't, like La Nina, El Nino. There are oscillations. There's an Atlantic oscillation, Pacific, Northern Atlantic. There's all sorts of things we can look at to determine, but no one has figured out the exact match for exactly how the winter is going to be. And then those winter forecasts, Susan, are so vague. They're like colder than average. Well, that doesn't mean you're not going to have warm days. I mean, at the end of winter, do you say, oh, that was colder than average? Like, you don't, right? We usually measure snowfall and all that stuff. So the information that I found that I agree with, and some of my own research that I've done, is pointing towards a cold December. All indications are that we're going to have a pretty cold December across the eastern half of the country. Like very cold December, several blasts of unseasonably cold air versus average, right? That would likely trigger lake effect snow. In terms of snowfall altogether, we do have La Nina. It's a weak one as of right now. That tends to bring storm tracks off the eastern seaboard. If they shift west, we can get some good snow out of that. But what I would say as of right now is colder than average December. I don't think snowfall is going to be that crazy in December for us locally. I think it'll be around us. I think the lake effect will be good. But I would personally forecast below average snowfall for us in December. And then all indication is all the years that we've had a cold December, and I've also correlated it with May's, the month of May. There's analogs that show that. All the years that match up, if we have a cold December, have a warmer than average January and February. Doesn't mean it doesn't get cold, but it'd be warmer than average. And then we go back to the colder than average in March. So in terms of big scale, how does the winter look? From what I can tell right now, December's may be bad cold-wise, but then January, February would be, a little bit easier. But then you're dealing with snowstorms, so does that really make it easy? But in terms of overall, I think cold, mild, and then cold on the backside of it. And if you've seen those little woolly bears crawling around, boy, they verify that. So we'll see. Anne's watching from work. Anne, I hope your work day's going well. I hope you're not in trouble for not working, but you're watching, so that's okay. You're absolutely welcome. Thanks for joining us on this. I appreciate it. Sherry says, looks quiet for Thanksgiving. What are your predictions for this winter? Sherry asked the same question. So very popular question for sure. I know. So let's just focus on December 1st, right? Because there's nothing we can do about it if it's going to be a bad January. So I do think December is going to be colder than average. So we'll see how that goes. And if it doesn't verify, then you know what? We'll try again the next month. But there are a lot of correlations between how our spring, how our summer, how our winter or fall went or is going. And you can compare how that is. You can throw in a computer system and see what years spit out and what December looks like. And more of them than not have a very cold December, eastern half of the country. So hopefully that answers. All right. So I guess that's it. And you're welcome, Sherry. Absolutely. Okay, guys. So that's what our Thanksgiving week is looking like. I appreciate you joining us. Deb asks a really important question before we go. She says, snow for Christmas. Deb, too early to call at this point. We could get a system that comes in and warms us up, for one day and it melts all of our snow. So we'll probably have a good grasp on what that Christmas, in terms of White Christmas, is looking like. I would say we can get a good idea by probably December 13th or 14th. Usually 10 days out, we can start to tell patterns. Maybe a little earlier than that. Maybe the 10th, we'll start to get an idea. We can fine tune that. But until then, it's literally throwing a dart at a dartboard. It really is. So if you see anything on that, don't click on it. All right. Everyone wants your clicking. Just keep that in mind. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll continue to have updates as we go throughout the weekend, but just wanted to give you kind of a heads up in terms of how Thanksgiving week is looking. I can't believe it's here already. All right. Enjoy your Thursday. Get back to work.